House of Horrors discovered in Serbia. Was missing Danka Ilić held there? The shocking discovery of a house of horrors in Brčko has sent shockwaves across the Balkans, raising terrifying questions about missing children and the horrifying reality of human trafficking. Among the most pressing concerns was little Danka Ilić, the missing 2-year-old girl from Serbia, among the victims. With 31 children found locked inside a house in Brčko, the police suspect that this was a transit point for human trafficking, where children were prepared to be smuggled across international borders. Some of the children even had Croatian passports, while others had no identification at all. As Europol and other international agencies join the investigation, the biggest mystery remains Danka Ilić's whereabouts. Could this be the missing piece in the puzzle of her disappearance? Parents leaving children to traffickers. A terrifying reality. One of the most horrifying revelations from this case is that some of the parents knowingly left their children in this house. According to official reports, several mothers have already come to claim their children from the Center for Social Work. But investigations have proven that they were aware of where their children were all along. This means that these children were not necessarily kidnapped but handed over to criminals, possibly as part of a larger human trafficking network. Authorities have already arrested 8 people, including some of the parents, and the case is expanding rapidly. As Croatian Minister of Internal Affairs Davor Bojinović stated, "This is one of the most serious cases of organized crime, as it involves children who may have been physically and psychologically abused. The investigation will take time, as these groups move from country to country, changing identities and using multiple nationalities. Could Danka Ilić have been a part of this network? Ever since her mysterious disappearance on March 26, 2024, the case of Danka Ilić has been surrounded by confusion, contradictions, and unanswered questions. Her body was never found. There is no physical evidence of her murder. The suspects initially confessed but later retracted their statements, claiming police brutality. And now, we learn that an active human trafficking network was operating in the region, moving children across borders. If 31 children were already being smuggled, how many have already disappeared? The most disturbing question, was Danka Ilić one of them? The 12-year-old who exposed the operation, the Brčko House of Horrors, was discovered after a 12-year-old girl managed to escape with 2 younger children. Shockingly, she was carrying a passport, suggesting that some of these children were already being prepared for transport to another country. This raises an even more terrifying possibility. How many children had already been smuggled before the authorities arrived? If some children were given fake passports and new identities, how can we be sure Danka Ilić wasn't one of them? Why do Danka's parents reject this possibility? One of the most disturbing aspects of this case is the behavior of Danka Ilić's parents, Miloš and Ivana Ilić. Instead of supporting the investigation, they have aggressively dismissed the idea that Danka could have been trafficked. They refuse to consider any theory that does not involve the suspects, Dejan Dragijević and Srđan Janković. They even threatened those who suggested otherwise. During a live TikTok broadcast, Ivana Ilić angrily declared, "Danka was not there. They killed her, and that's it." Why would a mother refuse to consider the possibility that her child might still be alive? Why does she insist on only one version of the story? Suspicious financial movements. Another red flag in this case is the mystery surrounding the Ilić family's sudden wealth. Shortly after Danka's disappearance, 30,000 euros were deposited into their account. They purchased an apartment in Bor, Serbia. They reportedly bought a property in Germany worth over 100,000 euros. If they were struggling financially before, where did all this money come from? Could it be payment for something? Analysts demand a deeper investigation. Many legal experts and analysts are calling for a full investigation into the parents of Danka Ilić. Retired police inspector Žarko Popović has expressed serious concerns about how this case has been handled, saying, "From the beginning, the investigation has been going in the wrong direction. Why weren't Danka's parents investigated more thoroughly? Why was the former water company director Goran Pavić never questioned?" Popović believes that many crucial leads were ignored, and that the entire case needs to be reopened, even. Igor Yurich, director of the Center for Missing and Abused Children, has said that the Brčko discovery proves that organized child trafficking exists in this region, and that there may be many more hidden locations like this one. The people demand justice. Students protesting. As anger grows among the public, protests are already taking place across Serbia. The ongoing student protests, originally sparked by the collapse of a bus station roof in Novi Sad, have now expanded to include demands for justice in Danka Ilić's case. The people will not remain silent. If an organized child trafficking ring was uncovered in Brčko, then it is time to re-examine every missing child case, including Danka Ilić. If authorities truly want the truth, they must investigate all possibilities. What's next? The investigation continues and more arrests are expected. However, one thing is clear. Danka Ilić's case is far from closed. If children were being trafficked in Brčko, how can we be sure Danka wasn't one of them? If parents were willingly handing over their children, shouldn't all parents of missing children be investigated? The truth will come out. The people are watching. Justice must be served. Stay tuned to The Missing Files as we continue to follow this case. Justice for Danka. The truth must come to light.